Just finished my last exam of the year and I am officially done with the first year of medical school. Now I'm on the last summer break of my entire life and I'm not gonna lie, I spent the first few days doing this. Now we all need the occasional day or two or five of just doing absolutely nothing, especially when it's well deserved. Doing nothing can be good for little, but I really wanted to make sure that this summer was one that was productive and memorable, and that's what I wanted to make this video talking about. Balancing rest and work is something that we're all working on. It can be a little tricky during the summertime because there isn't much of a structure that keeps us on task and accountable. I decided to have a reset day, which is basically a day that's dedicated to getting my shit together and giving myself a sense of direction when it comes to my summer. I needed to figure out, what exactly am I trying to accomplish? So the way I usually start my reset days is with some cleaning. The end of spring's coming and I really want to start summer, the whole new season, just on a good note and keep everything really clean. And this is especially the case because, well, honestly, I let my place become a little messy during the final weeks of school. I also find that having a clean space frees up a lot of my mental capacity and lets me think a lot more clearly. Whenever there's a shirt or water bottle that I leave and tell myself that I'll pick up next time, it always subconsciously weighs me down, and it's always on my mind that I should probably pick that up. Every time I walk by it and kick myself in the leg for forgetting, it's a little worse. Obviously this isn't something that's huge or crippling, but it can definitely add up, especially when things get hectic. Over time, I've gotten a lot better at making sure that everything that I own has a specific place that it needs to be. This makes it easier to keep up with day to day, even though there are specific times in the year where everything just kind of goes out the window. This is usually when there is a packed week with multiple exams. And right now, it's a little bit difficult to keep things super tidy because I'm actually moving to a new place in a month, so I have some boxes already packed, things are going to be shifting here and there, so I'm just going to do the best that I can. After cleaning up and getting everything organized, I started cooking. I started training for my part-time job during the last week of school, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been eating out a lot more than I usually like to. Cooking myself a nice home-cooked meal was a nice way to reintroduce the habit back into my routine. Honestly, there's just something super satisfying about putting a bunch of ingredients together and making something out of them. I've still been working on slowly leaning out while feeding my body enough to fuel my marathon training and my weightlifting. It's honestly been a bit more challenging than before I started because doing so much cardio makes my appetite go crazy. After washing the dishes and putting things away, I took Luca out on a walk. It's been raining a lot here in Colorado, so I've been really trying to take advantage of the times the sun is out, especially since Luca gets to enjoy it too. I also found that going on a walk after a huge meal helps me deal with food comas and post-meal slumps. If I lay down immediately after eating something so heavy, it's usually game over. The most important thing for me to do during my reset days is planning and goal setting, but before getting to that, I always find it very important to get a workout in. This is because my mind is always a lot clearer and I'm able to be a bit more imaginative after moving my body. Plus, it'll allow me to fully be present in the planning process without having to worry about handling another task or activity. I'm set to run my marathon in about 7 weeks, and my goal was originally just to survive and finish. That's still my goal, but I decided that I at least wanted to make a time goal for myself, so I wanted to incorporate speed into my training. This workout is going to be a mile warm-up, 6 reps of 800-meter runs, which is 2 laps at a fast pace, and then a mile cooldown. So in total, this is about 5 miles, but the emphasis is on the fast 2 laps that I do. The goal isn't to sprint and go anaerobic, but to go at a fast enough pace where I'm pushing my aerobic capacity. After stretching, eating, and getting my hygiene out of the way, I was finally able to start planning my goals this summer and how I plan on tackling them. So before figuring out what I want to accomplish this summer, I like to take a step back first and just think about the last few months, or in this case, the first half of the year. I like to think about the good, the bad, the strange, or just anything in between. I feel like if you don't go and reflect on, the things that have happened and really let those lessons kind of marinate and process them, you're kind of bound to make the same mistake. So I definitely want to take the time out to just reflect and think about the things that have happened the last 6 months. What always worked for me was working backwards from what I wanted to accomplish. So I started by listing 3 of the biggest things that I wanted to accomplish this summer. The biggest goal that I had was to keep up with my Anki flashcard reviews throughout the summer. I won't be doing any extra studying or adding more cards into my pile, but I just wanted to make sure that I keep the cards on concepts that I've already learned going. That way, it'll still be fresh in my mind when school starts back up. Additionally, I want to finish up my cut this summer. I've been taking it super slow to avoid losing any muscle and also just letting myself live a little, but I really want to wrap up being in a caloric deficit. That way I can start towards my other fitness goals when the summer is over. My last goal this summer is to hit 5,000 subscribers. I obviously have a very long way to go since I'm only a bit over 1,000 now, but I want to take the extra time that I have this summer to really sharpen up my skills and produce content that you guys are able to really enjoy. From here, I just work backwards just to see what things would look like on a week-to-week basis. With the flashcards, I figured if I just devote an hour or two every single day, they would just take care of themselves. With fitness, I recalculated my calorie and macronutrient goals to fit the workouts and the goals that I had. After making sure those were all set, I moved around my workout schedules to be more spread out throughout the week, since it'll give different muscle groups some well-needed rest. This next month, I'm raising my weekly mileage of running to 30 to 40 miles every week. That's a lot to ask of my legs and my body, so I want to make sure that I'm letting my legs rest, I'm making sure that I'm recovering, and I'm making sure that I'm actually fueling my body with the right nutrients and the right foods. That way, it can actually perform the way I want it to perform. With the goal of hitting 5,000 subscribers, I decided that I would start by really focusing in on how I could make my content better. Every week, I want to deep dive into my analytics and see what needs improvement. Maybe it's thumbnails, maybe it's my titles. Maybe I just need to do a better job with storytelling and communicating with you guys. I also love hearing your guys' feedbacks on the videos because you guys are the people that I make the videos for. I like to look at the feedback and make sure that I'm able to still give you the value and still provide the reason that you subscribe to this channel, because that's what matters to me, and I want to make sure that I'm still doing that. That way we can actually build our community bigger and bigger together. Now that the weekly goals are all established and set up, I now make my day-to-day goals, and this part's honestly the easiest part because since I'm working backwards, it pretty much takes care of itself. I normally make the next day's agenda at night so I know what's going on the next day. So I'll put together my schedule for tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow will bring me one step closer to reaching my goals and having a good summer. Thanks for joining me on my reset day process. I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate you guys' support. Do you have a reset day process? How do you kind of take a step back after a long period of time of working really hard and just gain your bearings and ground yourself again? I'd love to hear it, so leave a comment down below and I'll see you guys on the next video.